Welcome to the second semi-final of the transnational debate contest. The resolution again today is computers should replace teachers. The speaker for the affirmative side, team 2, on my right are Kostas Zanakis, Christiana Paula Andriete, and Melinda Tapai. And the speakers from the negative side, team 4, on my left are Lucia Vaita, Paolo Martinez, and Agnes Serman. The rules of the debate contest are the same as the previous contest. So, if the affirmative team is ready, we may begin. Good luck to the both teams.
Good morning, dear relative team, dear judges, and respective audience. As the first speaker of the affirmative team, I would like to introduce my team. My name is Melinda, our second speaker is Kostas, and our third speaker is Christiana. I'm really happy to be here to discuss about this very current topic. The resolution is computers should replace teachers. We, the affirmative team, strongly suggest this resolution, and we will explain you why. But first, let's see our definition. Computer is an electric device which has the ability to receive, transform data into information, when a teacher, on the other hand, a person who provides education for pupils. A teacher is a person who teaches or instructs, especially as a profession. And when we say replace, we mean to provide a substitute in the place of something else. Our team's argumentation consists of two arguments. The first argument: computers can help prepare the students for the future, because almost every job today requires computer skills. Learning with computers helps the student both learn the core knowledge they need, but also how to exceed using computer. And the second argument: computers help us with everyday school life problems in which the teacher cannot help. Teacher can be really biased when working with many students, while computers are objective since they don't have emotions. So, firstly, computers are everywhere in our everyday life. Imagine what it will be in the future. Technology expands rapidly. Even today, much of the practices that were used to do in a paper are now done in computers. Students need to be taught in things and practices that will actually be a concern for their future. Moreover, students learn better if they can interact with their environment. Computers are a presentation tool, a productivity tool, and a cognitive tool. Through its use, students can come closer to knowledge than ever before and learn both about computer literacy, which is important to acquire, and any other basic skills, and how to properly use a computer, which is something that we'll need for their whole life. I would like to mention a study from the National Association of Colleges and Employers in the USA, which states that web literacy, problem-solving, networking skills, flexibility, and computer skills are the most important abilities that today's employers look for when they want to hire a new employee. Our second speaker is going to more about our second argument in order to further prove that computers should replace teachers. Thank you for your attention.
So thank you for this fascinating speech. I'd like to ask a few questions. For example, how can a child between the age of 6 and 12 learn media literacy without the basic skills and without a teacher who can teach them the basic skills? How can a kid use these computers without basic knowledge?
Can you repeat your question?
Yes, of course. How can a child use the computers without knowing how to use it?
I think a lot of child in kindergarten too can use computer. I know it's strange, but they can. And who can use computer, they can help the other children.
Okay, and my other question is that how would you monitor physical classes like physical exercise? I mean, how would you make sure that there will be someone who checks the students in physical exercise?
You mean the students will be alone or not? Or
Yeah.
okay, so I think the technology or the computer will teach the student. And maybe a person can look after the students, but he or she won't be a teacher because he or she won't teach.
Okay, thank you.
Firstly, I would like to say that I agree with the explanation that the affirmative team made, but I would like to make a note that we are talking about the replacement of every single teacher in this thing. Well, you know what? Because yeah, that's how we define it. And now get into my speech. I, the first speaker, of course, you know, I will mention our arguments. I will bring the negative sides that the use of computers as teachers would bring. Also the lack of adaptation of computers to school life and the disorders in class. Our second speaker will bring on the problem that's of socialization between computers and students. And our third speaker will summarize the debate and point out our strong suits. At first, I would like to disapprove some of the things that the opposing team said. They said that it helps us prepare for the future and that computers help us with our skills. And they will offer more than teachers do. But I would like to mention that we are talking about replacing teachers, not working on computers. Anyone can do that. Of course, that's possible. But we are thinking about replacing the thing that is a teacher with an artificial intelligence that teaches our kids the same things by some extent, and that should bring the same qualities that a teacher brings. And also, I would like to begin my speech. So, what is a teacher? What do we define as a teacher? Some people could say they're just a person that yells at kids throughout the day and sits behind a desk. Some people could say it's the most important person for a young child that helps them go through their young age, their young school years, and helps them go through life, helps them achieve the goals they want. And hopefully, I will bring you the knowledge that I need to make you understand that teachers are here to stay and we cannot replace them by computers. Firstly, I would like to say our first argument. Computers cannot adapt to different situations. What is a computer? A computer is a machine that has been programmed to do certain tasks, to do certain things, what the creator of the computer intended for it. Make text, calculate numbers. A computer is basically ones and zeros, wires and metal. That's all it is. It's not a live being. And it cannot adapt to specific situations. It does not understand emotion. It does not understand, like, for example, it does not understand the things that kids might not mean. For example, satire jokes or sarcasm. It does not understand that. It takes everything literally. And our second argument, there will be no order in class. A computer can, as I said, a computer is not flexible. A teacher is flexible. She can spot the different situations that happen in class. A computer just can't. When, like, for example, a fight ensues, or a misunderstanding, or anything like that, the computer would basically don't know what to do. It will freeze and it will fail. Because computers, they go on statistics. They don't show feeling. For example, a teacher can adapt to every single student. They see what the student needs, what his problems are, and what he would do and what he can't do. But a computer bases everything on statistics, numbers and diagrams. It is not like being, it doesn't see the person, it sees the numbers it brings on an exam. And also, the same as the evaluation system. This continues more. A computer, as I said, doesn't know what each child or student is going through. He doesn't show any emotion, whether the child is having trouble, the child is sick, or had missed lessons. If you write like an exam wrongly, the computer will just give you, it's wrong, that's your own problem, what you did and what you didn't do. And also, there is a lot of people say that it is much cheaper to have computers. But we have to remember, yes, a computer with all of its parts could cost around 300 euros, 400 euros, around the same wage that a teacher gets. But you have to take in mind, a computer doesn't meet the things we need. We need also accessories, we need an operating system that costs around $100 or more. And also, we have to, a simple computer won't work, what I'm basically trying to say. Like a basic computer with Windows 10, with a mouse, with a keyboard, and with a screen. Then we will be still studying on basic computers, and our teachers will need to show us what to do on a computer. For example, our IT classes now are basically the same. Our teacher tells us what to do, he shows us what to do, and we just do it. We have to pay for the computer and the teacher. And right now, if we are talking about maybe creating artificial intelligence, we're nowhere close to that. Years, maybe even decades away for creating. Okay. Before creating intelligence that can adapt and that can teach on its own. And thank you, and I'm ready to answer the opposing team's questions.
Speech. As a third speaker of affirmative team, I want to ask some questions. Do you think one teacher can help all students at the same time?
Yes, they can. Like our lessons aren't measured in seconds. We have 40 minutes, in some countries it's maybe more, maybe less. That also depends on the student. Some students won't need the help that the teacher can bring. They're smart on their own, they know what to do on their own, and they can help themselves. But the teacher can always help the student that needs it, only if the student asks.
Can one teacher handle as many information as a computer can?
Yeah, that's all. That's a valid argument. I see that computers, but we have to take in mind, computers are still created by people. They are made for specific tasks. Computers don't have a brain. They haven't been created. They can measure numbers quickly. They can count words quickly. They just do it quickly. They do not have their own knowledge. They are like a vessel that has their knowledge put into them, and they use it to quantify whatever it's needed.
Thank you. Do teachers get ill sometimes?
Of course it's possible. Every person could get ill. It depends on the person. Much of their immune system is dependent on that, what's their diet and things like that.
Doesn't that mean that they are missing classes?
They're missing classes, but a kid can spill water on a computer. The computer's dead, you have to buy a new one. But the teacher can get well and come back.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great pleasure to be in front of you here today to tell you about such an interesting issue. Our first speaker analyzed how computers can help the students for the future, since almost every job requires computer skills to be said. As for me, I'm going to analyze further our second argument, which is opposed again by our first speaker. But before I do that, I will also, you claimed some arguments I want to defend. You first said that a teacher is an important person for the children. They need a teacher, so they sort of have like a father figure who can make jokes, who can have more personal interaction with the children, so the children feel more safe and they pay more interest in the class. However, I have to say that the teacher is not as godly as you seem to represent it. The teacher as a person has flaws, and we never know if the teacher is going to be is going to be good in his job or not. A computer is stable. It will do its job and it will do it right. Secondly, you said that there is no ordinary class. Like the teacher can help the students pay attention to the class and the students will not do anything they want. However, I strongly believe that if the students learn to work in such environments from a young age, they will actually learn how to work in these particular environments. They will not make they will not have any sort of misunderstanding, and they can adapt to such environments. Now let me refer to my arguments. Computers help us with everyday school life problems, in which the teacher cannot help. Some believe that the role of teachers started to fade because computers have been helping students to progress more fast than of the teacher. It's quicker and more efficient compared to traditional teaching progress. Due to the following, many students with the teacher are imposed to slow down because some students are more faster than the other students, and that makes the faster students slow down. I would like to refer to an article published by the Education Week teacher, to prove how students push back the most bright. This article brings on only specific subjects, mathematics. It's referred to what it claims. Compared to other disciplines, mathematics has a much smaller number of concepts to learn. As a result, the students will find math ability and literacy held back. They also run the risk of boredom during math classes. I can understand that you may say that's like a specific subject, but however, you can understand that this can happen to all of the subjects. Some students are more bright and they are set back by the others. In response, if the child is learned by his own personal computer in the class, it will work as fast as he can, and the slower students can learn by programs, by specific applications by the computer to learn how to use it, to learn about knowledge and push back get forward to the other kids. Also, I would like to say that the teacher can be biased. The teacher may don't like specific students and work with some of the students. This creates a gap between the environments of the kids. Some kids will eventually be better at what they're doing, and the others will stay back. And also, unfortunately, many teachers can be biased because of the race. Let me refer to a survey by the Johns Hopkins University in the USA that showed that white male teachers are 10 to 20% more likely to have low expectations for black female students. Math teachers were significantly more likely to have low expectations for female students, and non-black teachers were 5% more likely to predict that black male students wouldn't graduate high school than their black female students. We can certainly understand that students working with a computer won't have to deal with these problems. Computer doesn't have emotion, it doesn't have a soul. Computer will just do the work opposed by the instructor, and the kids will work in that environment. Students will work on the things that are truly important. They don't have to think that this particular teacher don't like him, and he has to work on that. In conclusion, there is simple problems in using a teacher. An equal distribution of learning between the students and biased teachers are a major problem created by using them. You can certainly understand why I have come to such a conclusion. I can understand that replacing students may sound way off the charts in nowadays. I'm sorry, thank you on this. In an environment such as this today, but replacing them with computers might as well be what the education nowadays needs and what is almost certainly needed in the future. Thank you for listening.
I listened to your speech. I find it quite interesting, but there are some questions I would like to ask. In the disapproval of our arguments, you basically said that computers are better than teachers, basically. But I would like to ask you, can computers show emotion?
No, computers certainly don't show emotion.
But knowing that, do you think that students can learn emotion? Young kids from when they go to first grade to grade 9, when they are most developing and they are learning the world. Can they learn emotion from a computer?
Well, I can understand why you would go into such an argument. However, the school is not the only environment where kids learn how to show emotion and better understand their own feelings. This happens during the interaction with other kids, and how about how the father of these particular children behave to the kids. While on the other hand, when you have teachers in a class, you don't know if the teacher is going to be a good teacher that respects the kids, or he's not going to be successful, and that might cause bigger problems to the kids. While having a computer, it might not be as in that part as important as a teacher, but it's a most safe option.
And you also mentioned that computers can process knowledge faster and are better than teachers. But are computers made by people?
Yeah. Computers are made by people.
Of course they are. And doesn't that mean that a person will always be smarter than a computer?
So, sorry, can you repeat the question?
You said that computers are made by people. Of course, yeah. And doesn't that mean that the person that made the computer, whether it be a scientist, a teacher, or a worker, is smarter than the computer?
Well, we can't say that computer is smart at all. We can't create a grade to justify how good the computer is from that grade. Computer, just like you said in your speech, are just a number of ones and zeros. It's just a program. So it's just a program that is programmed by people to be able to help children learn. They are not smart, they are not stupid, they are not anything like that. We can't create it in such a way.
Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Pablo Martinez, and before starting with my first argumentation line, I will develop the proposed resolution. The computer should replace the teachers. According to the technology institution, teacher only has to modify his role. He must change from being an instructor who dominates a certain knowledge to being an advisor, a facilitator of the teacher learning process. And operating as a mediator between the technology and the student. You mentioned that, before starting, you mentioned that young children of 8 years old should get used to the environment with a computer. But I think you are not taking into account the importance of the socialization agent. Well, this is my first argumentation line. Teachers who are foreign people and with specific studies should create an atmosphere. Should create an atmosphere so that inside the students for investigation, learning, and the building of their knowledge. Teacher is someone with great specific vocational training who tries to stimulate the autonomy and the initiative of the student, ensuring the student to find out a solution for a problem. A teacher is someone who generates abstractions through a significant learning from real situation. It's someone who sees the moment in which the students show themselves more perception about a specific fact of the real life. It's someone who finds out through the constructive learning what a student knows before starting an issue. The teacher is someone who stimulates the dialogue and the collaborative work and foster the learning through direct questions so that involve students to inquire. And the last thing, the teacher always use pedagogical strategies which feed the curiosity of the student. If we leave aside the teacher in this teaching learning process, we will lose the contact between teacher and the student, and also the contact between the student and the student. We will also lose the motivation contributed by the teacher. We will lose the teamwork and the collaborative work face to face. Lots of the students will feel themselves lost in the great world of the internet and will not know how to guide their knowledge in the future. Now, I will carry on with my second argumentation line about the problem of health, which are produced by computers, like the exposure to radiation. Although most of the computers are at present has a radiation limit or control, they always have a small quantity of X-ray, which produce cancer, headaches, and insomnia, and so on. Also, the wide variety of information and entertainment can produce addiction, and at the same time can cause the young person lie to his family and to the social events, apart from failing at the school. And the last thing is the CVS, the computer vision syndrome, the brilliance that is produced by the brilliance from screen. The reduced level of contrast, of text with the back, and so on. Thank you for your attention and your patience, and I will wrap it through.
My first question is that, what do you think about the fact that teachers need to pay...
Can you repeat? I can hear.
Yes. What do you think about the fact that teachers need to be paid monthly, but the computers are non-binding? For example, paid holidays for teachers cost much more than computer infrastructure.
Can you repeat the last sentence?
Yes, of course. Yes, for example, paid holidays for teachers cost much more than a computer infrastructure.
But the technology also cost a lot. This is my short answer to your question.
Don't you think that students pass many hours of their computers at home? Does it really make a difference?
The teacher has?
The students. So, don't you think that students pass many hours of their computers at home? Does it really make a difference?
Yes. I think having the fact of children being at home with the computer in it.
Yes.
As I said, can produce addiction. So this is really important. It's really important to see it, because that can produce to the main student to life and to his family, and can also have problem with the social events. So also the fact of having lots of hours in front of his computer can also produce that the main student failed at school.
Thank you for your question.
Hello, honorable judges, opponents, and the respective audience. I am the affirmative team's third speaker, and I would like to summarize what my teammates mentioned, while the opponents mention, and in general summarize the debate. First of all, I want to say that we are really glad to be here today. The debate was intense, and we think that it's a really good experience for us. During this debate, I found two crash points. Negative team's first speaker said that computers don't show feelings, so they can't show any emotions. But like we said in our second argument, teachers sometimes are not objective. We think that computers should replace teachers because they don't see person. They see just numbers and letters, so they are objective. A negative team also said that we need to have teacher which can show students how to work with computers. We need to pay for computers, and we need to pay for teacher. It's double amount of money. If computers will replace teacher, learning process will cost less. We need to pay only for computers. They also said that computers can't adapt to different situations, they can't understand jokes, but we think that is good because students will not be distracted. Almost every job today requires computer skills. Computer literacy is as important for our generation to acquire as any other basic skills, because how you may or may not know, the 21st century is tech era, so sooner or later computers will replace teachers. The computer is one of the 21st century values because in the same time it is firstly presentation tool, it helps make work more attractive. Secondly, productivity tool, it helps us to do our work quickly and effectively. And thirdly, cognitive tool, it helps you think. Many people thought computers would revolutionize education by providing individual instructions in the form of tutorials. Computer as a cognitive tool has the potential to create more interactive and powerful learning environment in which learners become knowledge creators, producers and editors. Students will no longer be just sitting and eating up information like sheep. They will work practically and they will use their knowledge practically and evolve new skills for the future. Because even today, much of the practices that were used to be in paper are now done in computers. Teachers are just people, so why do we need to waste their time if computers can easily replace them? Computers can support meaningful learning by helping find information, helping organize information, and making easier to share information and ideas to others. Basically, they give students new possibilities. Computers have been helping students to progress. Progress in their studies quicker and more effective than traditional teaching process. Because with a teacher in the class, students will focus on matters that are not important. For example, what she or he is wearing, or how teacher is talking. Teachers are simple human beings like we all are. They usually work more with their emotions, but computers have no emotion, so they are 100% objective. So students will feel that every single one of them is truly important, because sometimes particular teacher don't like her or him. That is why we still believe that computers should replace the teachers. Thank you for your attention.
So, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear audience, dear judges, as the third speaker of the negative theme, I would like to complete the debate and highlight the clash points we have. My team is still hold that the computers cannot replace teachers, or not that easily as you believe. Because in some of our clash points, from that one was that the teachers cannot handle as much information as a computer can. Yeah, that's true. But the students also cannot handle that much information as a computer. So he or she can only handle as much maybe as a teacher. So the information which a teacher can give to the student is just enough. And I think that's not the main purpose of a teacher, to give the information, to give exercises which are, much more entertaining. Because a teacher can adapt to any situation, can adapt to the fight in the class, can notice the irony in the student's voice, and also can help the students if they ask for help. And I think that's a very important point, because a computer just simply cannot adapt to an emotional situation. If a student has a problem at home or has a problem with another student, a computer just simply cannot notice that situation, cannot solve that situation, because it's, for the computer, it's not in the database. And I also want to mention what our first speaker said, that the economic problems with the computers are still in the system. I mean, according to the OECD, in 2015, only 7 and 8% has only one computer in Europe. That's not much. And the infrastructure could be, and it would be an economic strain on the state, and not even one state which can afford as much changes as a whole technological infrastructure would cost. I also want to highlight the socialization issue, which reached by this resolution. I mean, a computer is not capable of teaching such norms like ethical problems and like behavior samples. So the students won't learn how to act in a community of a class, in a community of colleagues, or any community in the future they are involved. So, as the previous theme in the affirmative side, I also want to quote from David Thornburg, the same words, but supporting our side. They said, and I'm going to say that any teacher that can be replaced by technology deserves to be, because a teacher with the real purposes of education, empathy, collaboration, critical thinking, and tolerance just simply cannot be replaced. Thank you for your attention.